What's good, Crashers? It's your boy Crash. Welcome back to another reaction video. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to be reacting to times YouTubers tried to warn us too. So this video already looks interesting. The thumbnail looks awesome. Let's definitely get into this shit.
From predicting the downfall of the most controversial podcast on the internet.
It just feels so corporate and soulless. It just feels really inauthentic and artificial.
To outsmarting an evil company that steals from its creators.
Even if I have to film butt-ass naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
These are the unbelievable times when YouTubers were right all along. Starting with the YouTube OG, PewDiePie, who on January 3rd, 2017, would abandon his usual content to voice his concerns about a then 5-year-old Ryan Kaji.
I would love, when I was a kid, to open a bunch of toys. But at the same time, it's like, there's something off about it. It's kind of like seeing child stars on television, because you know, like, their parents are literally forcing them to do it. And it's just something sad about it, and I can't help but getting the same vibe. You know, obviously I don't know what goes on, but I watch it and I'm like, ugh.
To prove his point.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole like Ryan situation, I remember I like went to his channel once just to see like some of his oldest videos, and it's just crazy how like controlling, even from like beginning of when he was a child, the parents really were. Like deciding on the video and stuff like that. It just looked creepy. Like if you go right now to some of his oldest videos, it's like he's so young to really understand what's happening. Let's check it out.
PewDiePie would then expose a surprising red flag almost everyone missed in one of Ryan's videos.
Who will you hatch?
See, she doesn't even let him finish. He was clearly about to say something there.
Who will you hatch?
Look at him.
We even found
No, you don't matter, because
That's what I'm saying. Like some of his older videos, like if you have the time, dude, go to his channel, go to some of his older videos, and you can see that it's just all like scripted almost. It's weird.
I matter. Shut the f up.
Right before the video ended, PewDiePie would leave his viewers with a very disturbing question.
Are we celebrating this? Are we celebrating the fact that this mother is like, you think he's getting any money of this? Do you think he's getting the toys?
But since
I mean, dude, I think that channel makes like millions of dollars. And then there was like, I think there was a bit of controversy too, because doesn't he have like 2 sisters too that they're trying to like make money off of too, like trying to have them like make toys and the same thing too.
PewDiePie was a 27-year-old reacting to a 5-year-old's content. The backlash was immediate.
PewDiePie, why are you making a video against a child? Why is a child Tupac to your Biggie? Come on, PewDiePie, you're at the top. You should be supporting new YouTubers.
Bro, you cannot compare
However,
those two
years later, fans would notice that despite being a teen, Ryan was still making the same kids' content for 5-year-olds.
Is there a consequence?
It's gonna happen.
Goodbye, Ryan. What is that?
That's why you cannot lie.
But things were about to get much worse when, during a 2024 interview, viewers began to suspect he was a prisoner trapped in a billion-dollar empire after he spoke about the fun he used to have.
Meet YouTube's richest 12-year-old, Ryan's World. Holy shit. Imagine being like rich as fuck at 12. That's crazy.
It was something he no longer got to experience.
Do you ever tell your parents like, no, I want to be in more videos. I want to do more?
I think when I was a kid, I had lots of fun doing the videos like with my sisters and with my parents, because like it's just really engaging.
Damn, bro, his dad can't give him a break. He's like staring into his fucking soul. You can just tell you can like feel the pressure. He sounds like he can't even speak his opinion.
And fun for me, and I loved like making the videos because I got to like play with the toys and talk to camera, play with my sisters. It's just really fun throughout the whole video.
And they would also notice how his dad hijacked the conversation every time he got asked a question.
Bro,
what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be like an animator. I think it's really fun to do because like the drawing, and then like at the end you get to see the whole thing and see what you've like.
Yeah, you're in the front line seeing the each process of animation in a way, because
it sounds like he can barely speak his opinion. It's like he has to be careful with like each word he says. He goes so slow with saying everything, and it's like boom, his dad comes in, catches him right at a good moment to then take over the conversation.
First, before we started working on animation, we get the script, right? And then you read through.
But what really grabbed everyone's attention was how his dad never took his eyes off him every time the interviewer asked him a question.
Do you ever feel any pressure?
Not a lot.
Pressure? They're both staring at his ass. Why are you looking at him? Look at the fucking dude that's asking you questions right now, bro. Let him breathe.
Not usually.
Naturally, the internet was not happy. I feel like in 20 years we will see a Netflix doc about how his parents robbed him blind, pushed him for more and more content, and he becomes an addict and loses everything.
Bro, that would be so fucking sad. And it honestly could have happened. The way like Netflix is doing stuff, there's like a documentary about everything nowadays. Like, I bet you in the next like 5 to like 6, 7 years, there's gonna be even more YouTube stuff, more like stuff that you wouldn't even realize happened from TV shows and cartoon shows. Like, it's gonna be something.
I always watched him as a little kid. I was always jealous of what he did and the challenges. But now I'm grateful I'm just a normal kid. But while PewDiePie predictions turned out to be more than accurate, Tanamong Joe's warning would hit harder after revealing a dark truth no one wanted to believe. In 2024, YouTube's most notorious party...
Bro, I wonder if like the parents put like those toys on like a credit card. You feel me? Just to, like get the content out. I feel like nowadays, especially with like TikTok, if you just like put stuff on a credit card or even just like return it, you could kind of build a brand just doing that too. And then like a lot of companies will literally hit you up for like the dumbest shit. You're doing toys, clothes or whatever. Like, oh, I'll promote you. I'll do this. I'll give you free clothes. Like, it's crazy nowadays.
Girl Tana Mojo would host a live episode where her answer to a particular question left everyone deeply disturbed.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody Co. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that.
Just as you'd expect, this generated a lot of uproar, forcing Tana to address the controversy on her podcast a few days later.
I hooked up with Cody Co when I was 17 and he was 25. This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
But since Tana was no stranger to controversy, like racism, exploitation, and a reputation for lying and heavily embellishing her content, the internet was divided. That is, until YouTuber D'Angelo Wallace uploaded a video calling out Cody Co for his predatory behavior.
Alright Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance. Because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
D'Angelo would then uncover some long-buried evidence from a fellow YouTuber that suggests Tana might have been telling the truth all along.
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage. Watch it. And he's like, oh my god, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that,
including another disturbing video she had made back in 2021.
I was 17 at the time, 18.
Bro, people just do some dumb ass shit and just think they can't get away with stuff, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? How do you do that shit? Someone literally helped you out, told you what the fuck happened, and then you still do some dumb shit, bro. Wow.
I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kalen, shout out Cody Co.
Before ending the video, the YouTuber would then call out other creators for their hypocrisy.
I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking about channels that never would have discussed something like this either. I mean the same channels that were rightfully calling out people like Dr. Disrespect for texting a minor, which are the same channels that are now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being accused of doing something much worse.
But D'Angelo wasn't the only one digging.
Bro, it's because they make... Dude, when you have huge channels, they know each other, they're friends with each other, they're not gonna fucking call each other out. They're not gonna make it a thing. They all make money off of each other. They all got their own bullshit, their own fucking skeletons, dude. Imagine that shit. You got 2 channels over 1 million subs, bro. You know they both got dirt on each other. You know they know some shit. They're not gonna snitch on another one, man. Because they know they both got dirt on each other. That's all that shit is. They ain't gonna make it a thing because it's there's no point. He gonna make it a thing, and then he gonna say all his shit. And it becomes an even bigger problem, even bigger drama when they gotta protect their own brands. They don't give a fuck about people or their opinions. They give a fuck about their money. That's facts.
As the situation soon caught Charlie's attention.
Like in this case right here, you'll have some drooling, stinky, bumbling morons in the comments saying how it's not a big deal because 17 shouldn't be an issue. You know, like, age of consent over in this region is actually 16, so really, he waited till she was old. Like, it's craziness. It's actually craziness. It is.
I'm glad that he spoke up. I feel like Penguin literally half the time is the only person to speak up about anything. He's like the person who just don't give a fuck. He says whatever, man, and that's what we need more in the YouTube community.
A crime. It is a minor. Still, it's bad. Like, I don't know why that needs to be explained all of a sudden.
Instead of addressing the claims, however, Cody would completely disappear, only to resurface
bro
6 months later with a flimsy,
photo.
half-baked apology.
Obviously, I understand I've been offline for months, haven't made videos for, that whole time, and I also understand if your opinion of me has potentially changed over the last few months. I spent the first half of my career criticizing people and judging people online, so, I don't begrudge your judgment of me.
But this only made things much worse. All we needed was a straight admission and apology like, yes, I did that. No, it wasn't right and I shouldn't have done it. I can't go back and change it. But I can strive to understand why it wasn't morally right. Instead, we got this.
Bro's basically just trying to make excuses.
His new name should be Cowardly Co at this rate after this terrible apology. Ultimately, Cody was forced to step down from his role at TMG Studios, a podcast he co-founded, and has since lost most of his die-hard followers. But while Tana finally got support after calling out and exposing a much older man, Ray William Johnson would face backlash for calling out a shady corporation. Back in the early 2011,
this dude was
nearly
huge.
all major YouTubers were signed to a YouTube network.
Dude, this dude was huge back then. I remember, like, he was up there, like, with Smosh and all them, like, huge numbers.
Called Maker Studios, one of the biggest players at the time. However, on December 11th, 2012, its biggest signee, Ray William Johnson, made some shocking allegations against the company and its exploitative practices that were bleeding creators dry. They wanted 40% of my YouTube channel's AdSense revenue after production costs, and more importantly, they wanted 50% of the shows in perpetuity.
God damn, bro, they were just trying to milk him dry. Bro, 40% of YouTube channels AdSense, dude. I get it. Some of these YouTubers be making, like, some of them make millions of dollars a month. But if that's like you doing all the work and they just taking all the fucking money from it, and if he also has to pay for equipment and all that other stuff, like, that's fucked up, man. And this is back then when, like, YouTube, like, yeah, like, it wasn't like YouTube back then, like, I don't think it wasn't even making a lot of money. You still made money, but it wasn't like how money is now.
Let me clarify. They wanted %50 for the rest of eternity, and
Crazy.
weren't offering much in return. As if demanding a bigger cut of the revenue wasn't bad enough, Ray would then reveal that after he refused the new terms, they threatened to shut down his project. When I politely refused their deal, as it was not in my best interest, they became increasingly aggressive. Negotiations quickly became a bizarre pissing contest between the heads at Maker Studio and myself. I wouldn't hand over my intellectual property, and they wouldn't stop aggressively trying to get me to sign it over to them. And much later, Ray claimed that even though his contracts had expired, Maker Studios was refusing to give him back his AdSense money. Frustrated and left with no choice, Ray announced that he'd left the company.
Now, in the near future, Equals 3 will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm gonna film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt-ass naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
But any excitement over his departure would quickly fade when Ray revealed that he'd gotten a threatening message from Maker Studios' CEO, which read, "Your lack of integrity and character are sad. Q. Prepare for war, bitch."
Damn.
Forcing a response from YouTubers like Shane Dawson, Maker Studios' original golden boy. I got the same text 3 years ago. And even Philip DeFranco, another OG member of Maker Studio crew, spoke out. There's a theme here, but...
It's crazy how some of these companies just want to rip the AdSense from these creators. Like, you guys realize that they are the brand. Even if you try to make a deal with them to take most of their revenue source, they are the brand. You got to remember, they have all the power. You don't have all the power. Yeah, maybe you have the equipment, maybe you have the editing team, maybe you have like a way of getting themselves, like getting their content more out there. But no matter what, it's their community, it's their brand. They can take it and do whatever they want with it. The fact that you want to take 50% is insane. They're the ones working harder, dude. Come on.
Despite Ray's warnings, many of your favorite creators such as PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and many more would join just 2 years later after Ray spoke out against them. Luckily, it would later be exposed for locking creators into predatory contracts and taking a significant part of their revenue. With Ray Williams' claims later confirmed, the internet was disappointed, but no one was more annoyed than Charlie.
And then Maker came along and said, hey, we'll offer you this contract. It was a 60-40 split, and at the time that sounded great to me. I have never had any way of contacting Maker. Their support line does absolutely fucking nothing. And if you don't have your channel manager there to be that bridge, then you just have no way of getting in touch with Maker. It would sometimes take up to 3 months to get one check from Maker.
3 months to get one check? Holy shit, them motherfuckers were just trying to steal everything from these creators.
Last year, when my channel got disabled due to false copyright strikes, I could not contact Maker no matter what. I did everything possible to get in contact with them. A contract shouldn't auto-renew. You should have to sign off on it each time it tries to renew. Maker Studios is just so lazy, so unorganized, and just doesn't give a f about any of the people in their network.
In the end, Ray William Johnson earned the respect of the internet, much like Charlie, whose take on the Talk To A podcast turned out to be spot on. 5 days after the explosive launch of Haley Welch's podcast, Talk To A, Charlie would make a shocking prediction.
It just feels so corporate and soulless. It just feels really inauthentic and artificial. You know, it all just feels so forced. But I just really think the best path is to just separate from the meme a little bit. Like, hey, you know, this was my lightning rod. I know you guys know me as the Hawk Tua girl, but, you know, I'm just kind of hanging out here. I started a podcast if you want to check it out. And just have it be more organic, as opposed to just like wrapping everything around the meme. Because it just feels so inorganic. It really...
Essentially, he's trying to say, like, don't turn it in only into the meme. You have to make sure it's about your personality too. Like, this is a channel, community you're gonna build. Don't build it off the freaking meme because it was just a one-time thing. You can't make it a forever thing, you know. Memes literally last like 2 days now. You could become famous for like the stupidest shit in the world, and next week you're not famous anymore, literally.
Really does feel like an industry plant situation to a certain extent.
But his main prediction was on how it would all flop, because she'd have nothing to offer in her podcasts.
Look, I'm not a chef in the kitchen, but I can speculate on the menu. They're gonna be serving up nothing burgers with those conversations. Just a hunch.
Despite the widespread doubt, Haley Welch would drop the first episode just days later.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting.
Haley, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk. So we'll be talking about all the crazy stuff that's happened since I got into this mess, and the stuff that me and Chelsea like to do before all this happened. And I want you guys to get to know me better than Hawk Tua.
And it didn't take the audience long to make their feelings clear. I am an 89-year-old gay Holocaust survivor.
Damn.
And after listening to the Talk To A podcast, I managed to overcome my past trauma.
Damn.
But despite this, Haley only doubled down, a move that only attracted more negative reaction.
Dude, I remember when the whole the meme coin shit happened. Literally, she like took a break. I think it was like for a month or something. And I think like her videos, like they averaged really good in views. I think they were like 20, 30, 40,000 views. After she took the month, literally, I think it was like she had, I think, a video with like maybe FaZe and then like another one with like JJ. And then like the next episode, it was like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. Like, oh my God. Like, dude, the podcast just went to shit. I watched like a couple minutes of some stuff and it was just like so boring. It's so hard to really like make content and like you have to make sure that the community is enjoying the content. You just sitting there always, you know, if you talk about yourself a lot, it doesn't really come off good. It just comes off as just boring. Like unless you're really interesting, I guess. I don't know.
Things took a drastic turn when Haley would announce her plans to launch a new meme coin, despite warnings from guests like Mark Cuban.
Oh yeah, if I launch a meme coin, can I give you some tokens?
Are you sure you're gonna launch? I don't know. I'm not a big fan about meme coins. I love crypto, but you can make some money from it. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Haley went ahead anyway and launched a new meme coin called Hawk.
My Hawk meme coin is live!
However, shortly after its launch, things went south after it was exposed by investigative journalist CoffeeZilla as a complete scam.
Who makes the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
The creator, right?
Which is who? Who does that own? Who does that belong to?
That belongs to the project.
Who's the project? Who is the
Bro's avoiding the question so hard.
project?
Well, the project is over here, Haley Welch.
The scandal not only devastated investors, but also shattered Haley's credibility. Haley then disappeared, only to reappear a month later. But despite her weak attempts to generate public sympathy,
and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me, we're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out.
fans were not buying it. I think she's reading off a script here too. But what truly caused her downfall was when, after the controversy, she delivered one of the most boring podcasts with KSI, where she hoped his presence alone would be enough to make a good podcast.
Yeah, I think it's better if I'm alive and healthy. Healthy.
It was like she didn't even know anything about him, which was so weird because during this time, I think it was still like the whole lunch lease situation and all that stuff.
Is the most important thing, you know, more than money, more than family, etc.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you want to be there for your family, you gotta be healthy. So
Gotta be good.
yeah.
You ever think I could box?
Would you want a box?
I actually do want to box.
Really?
You gotta give her some tips. Yeah, I need some tips. Or you can just train me.
Who would
Whatever.
you want to fight?
When the guest has to carry the conversation on a podcast, you know it's cooked, proving Charlie's initial hunch of serving up nothing burgers. In the end, despite all
You know it's bad when fucking JJ's leading the fucking podcast, bro. He's like the only one making it interesting.
her attempts to revive her podcast, views have dropped significantly, and she now only gets a fraction of what she used to get. But while Charlie's warning about a disastrous podcast turned out to be true, CoffeeZilla's expose was the result of something far more controversial. In 2021, finance YouTuber Graham Stefan would surprise his fans with an unexpected announcement.
I decided to invest an undisclosed amount, and now I can officially say I am a small owner in Yada Bank.
But as it turns out, Graham wasn't the only YouTuber who was promoting Yada.
Today we're talking about a bank promoted by YouTubers that's now become a casino, and users can't get their money out.
Lotteries are predatory. They play on our psychology to suck us dry of our hard-earned money. But what if lottery psychology could be used for good? What if lottery psychology could be used to incentivize you to save money and build wealth instead of keeping you poor? Well, that's where Yada comes in. A savings account that pays you interest and prizes, giving you a chance to win $10 million every single week.
But despite all the promises it offered on August 5th, 2020,
Bro, don't ever believe any of that fucking bullshit of lotteries and all that crap. It's always fake. You never, it's a scam. It's always a scam. There's no such thing as an app or some bullshit casino that you're gonna make millions of dollars. It's fucking cap, dude. They need money from you. That's how they make their millions, bro.
22, CoffeeZilla would pull back the curtain, revealing that things weren't as they seemed, something YouTubers like Jake were already aware of.
Like, for example, he'll tell you that lotteries are predatory. But then, in that same video, he'll sell you a, quote, no-lose lottery.
Play the no-lose lottery by pausing the video and clicking the link below.
And 2 years later, he dropped another expose on Yada and its investors. Only this time, it was far worse.
I mean, it means everything to me. I wasn't able to pay rent for this month. I wasn't able to pay my bills.
I quit my job. I quit my career to go into business for my family, and my savings is my my safety net for doing that, for making such a crazy decision.
That's fucked up.
So it means a lot.
We really have no safety net. I mean, even if that money's not gone, it's gone for us for now.
Till today, so many investors fell for Yada despite CoffeeZilla's warnings and are yet to get their money back. But while CoffeeZilla warned everyone of what was to come after investing in a sketchy bank, Greg Doucette would expose a fitness influencer who was...
Dude, I feel like there's nothing... I feel like there's so many ways apps or companies can just hold your money. That's why so many like older people would just be like, no, I keep it in cash, or like put it in gold or stuff like that, because they know like you can't take this money away from me because I have it physically. It's so scary, like having your money digitally and all that stuff, just because technically if the bank really wanted to, they don't have to give you your money back. They can hold it. You got to go through courts and all that bullshit too. It's crazy, man.
Deceiving his own viewers for profit. In November 2021, Greg Doucette shared his thoughts on the Liver King natty or not controversy.
I don't think he's natural. Don't believe that. And for all the haters, I want to be clear. I believe that there's more than a 50% chance that he's on PEDs. So if I was forced to choose, I'm saying not natural.
But since Greg had no concrete evidence and the Liver King had always promoted a natural lifestyle, he immediately denied it.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids. I'll say,
dude, it's so funny seeing like the older videos now, and then all the fucking shit that's came out. We had like so many people exposing him, and then now he has like a Netflix documentary too. That like, I watched one video saying that it was just like not even about what the fuck he did and why he did it. It's just a mess.
Say this. Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these fucking appendages down here? So this is what I say to people that make this accusation. If you don't believe this is possible, then I suggest that you take that self-limiting belief, you put that shit in a fucking box, and you bury that next to all your embarrassing shit.
But it all turned out to be a lie, because just a year later, another YouTuber, More Plates, More Dates, came out with shocking evidence, revealing years of steroid use.
But as I've reached my mid-40s, it's getting harder and the back fat fucking kills me. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope,
which would catch the attention of YouTubers like Charlie.
The problem that I have here, as well as many other people, is that he's selling a lie.
In the wake of the backlash, Liver King would release a not-so-convincing apology.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed.
Bro, that was like the shittiest apology. Literally. You should have just been straight up, dude. You made hundreds of millions of dollars off people. You fucking saying that, oh, you could definitely achieve this, like, oh, the natural way, bro. Why you capped, bro?
Because I lied. And I misled a lot.
He only did this shit because he got exposed. That's what he was gonna live this life forever, bro.
I've stated that this is a complicated as fuck topic, at least to me it is, because before social media, I was rich and anonymous, and after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous, and I never expected this kind of exposure in the public eye.
Which only earned him more mockery.
Hey Derek, you know how I got so jacked? I followed the 9 ancestral tenets.
Liver King! Oh, so strong. Liver likes, that's what you are. Another fitness influencer lying. How about that?
Since then, his reputation in the fitness world has taken a major hit. And despite his attempts to make a comeback, many still see him as the guy who built his empire on a lie, making it yet another one of those situations where a YouTuber tried to warn us, but we didn't listen.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's fucking crazy how many times YouTubers have predicted the future, predicted things. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. It's just crazy as hell. The whole Liver King bullshit, everyone knew there was something on how the hell he got so jacked. And then Ryan's world, bro, his parents, I think, dude, there's probably so much shit on him. And like they said, there's probably going to be a documentary coming soon once he hits like 16, 17, 18. Who even knows how much money like he's even able to keep? They probably got some contract on him. But as always, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.